Welcome back, everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about how this week so far is going. I made a video yesterday. I think I also made a video before yesterday on Sunday too. If not Sunday, then Saturday. And this video is going to be about the reason why I didn't take a trade today. And mainly not taking a trade today. And I think it's helpful to sit out. It's healthy also to sit out of the market, excuse me, when you just don't see your setup on any pair. So I also have been reading more on Mark Douglas, the disciplined trader, and there's a part that I wanted to discuss. It kind of correlates with the compound effect by Darren Hardy. He says positive energy is expansive. It promotes mental growth or learning by creating a sense of confidence, which in turn results in an openness to explore and discover the unknown. So I think that correlates with the compound effect by Darren Hardy because it's almost like it's almost like you drive a car and let's say your car is your mind. You're going to want to fuel your mind with as many yeah, positive habits as possible. So it's almost like the positivity is the gas. It's what fuels your mind. And the more you consistently, the more consistent you are with positive habits, then the outcome, you'll also consistently start receiving positive outcomes. So I think that's a great philosophy to live by, not only in trading, but also in the way we live. So the way of life, I think you pour positivity into something, and the more on the back end, you'll start seeing positivity in return. So that's pretty much what I think about that quote. Let me know what you guys think about that quote. If you guys haven't already, like, comment, and also subscribe. And let's start. I'm gonna go ahead and start breaking down the market. And ultimately, I did not trade today. And it's not, is it common for me not to take trades on Tuesdays? Definitely not. I normally take trades on Tuesdays. Um, I'm most likely gonna be refraining from trading on Sundays and Mondays or look for extra confirmation on Sundays and Mondays because like I told you guys in previous videos, I from my track record, I'm hardly profitable on both Sundays or even Mondays. Not trying to single it out, but I might just throw in more confirmation just so that I'm not just getting baited. Let's start with let's start with what's green right now. So right now we're around the area of interest for where I think GBP NZD is going to end up so that I can enter. And I call this out in the Discord. So in my community, I'll call this trade out, and I'm expecting the market to retrace back into this area around here, maybe 2.27 thousand or a little bit lower. I mean, somewhere right here. I just anticipate price touching this area just because we've already broke structure on the 1 hour time frame. And overall, the daily's not bullish, but the 4 hour time frame is. And you can clearly see that we're bullish or bearish, I mean, because this is our low, this is our high, and then we've had a new low created here, which was last Wednesday. So now that we got price in this range, we could potentially see a risk to reward of 1 to 10. So price has already did a market structure shift on the 1 hour time frame. So uh actually no, it hasn't done a market structure shift on the 1 hour time frame, but it's done a market structure shift on the 30-minute time frame. we've had a market structure shift on a 30-minute time frame right here. So this was our low, this was our high, and then from here we broke structure, creating this as our low. Now I'm anticipating an entry around this area, and then once we get an entry here, I anticipate price hitting our take profit. So this is the trade of the week. This might be the biggest trade of the week, depending on how it goes. If it actually respects my theory, that's gonna happen for GBP and ZD this week. There's also other GBP pairs that I wanted to trade this week, but unfortunately they started moving without us. There is a possibility that it might retrace back. Um, but regardless, GBP NZD is giving the best risk to reward. So I might just single this one out or mark it red because I don't trade red or I'm not focused on red. I wouldn't say not trade red, but I'm just not focused on trading red. We're also going to go over the red folders as well, just because there might have been some different ideas that I might be able to create out of the market based on where the market is at right now. I definitely don't like this setup. I mean, it's still a good trade idea if the market retraces back into this area, but something like this, I'd probably have something like this red, but still put a um an alert signal just so that like let's say if price comes into this area, then maybe I'll buy or sell. So I'm gonna put an alert here and then I'm gonna make this thing red. So GBP AUD is now in the red section. No longer focused on what did I just change? Oh, I did change GBP AUD. So yeah, I am looking at Euro AUD, and there is some imbalance that was left around this area right here. So we could potentially get a smaller time frame market structure shift below. If we do, after closing below this low, if we do get a market structure shift, then I'll be interested. Euro USD, it honestly it went without us. Not to say that price is going to stop where it's at and not continue going down, but as you can see, I was looking to get some retracement back into this area and then sell, but unfortunately, uh, price just ended up taking out this low. And normally when that happens, it goes against my trading plan to get a re-entry once price comes back in because I have been stopped out before and I'm already on a losing streak of two back-to-back L's. So I'm not looking to. Am I frozen? Hope I'm not frozen. But I'm not looking to yeah, to take any more L's. Next is USD JPY. So for USD JPY, we are bullish, and since we're bullish, there's not really much I can do, so I'm just gonna sit this one out as well. Anything else? I mean, Euro AUD would possibly give us a good risk to reward. Like this is a game that I'm typically playing nowadays. I'm looking for good risk to rewards. I'm not looking for some Joe Schmo trade that's gonna give me a measly 1 to 2. Like that's why my profits are so large. Nowadays is because I'm looking for better risk to rewards. I'm not looking for, because if I'm gonna risk my money and I want this to be my career path, then I'm not gonna mess around with 1 to 2s. It also diminishes like it defeats my like how do you say it? I don't know. I just get aggravated when price doesn't go in my direction. So I think the least amount of times that I'll be, taking trades also minimizes the times that I'm obviously going to be wrong. So that just helps me mentally. I'd rather just not trade at all than be wrong. So in some cases, I even lose, like, not lose, I even miss out on trades. Uh, all right. So now this is GBP USD. So I was also anticipating a bigger retracement into this area, but didn't get that. Price ended up leaving without us, and that's fine. That is definitely fine. Um, Better luck next time. Like I'm not gonna wait for a price to get into that area anymore. I'm just gonna sit back and wait, and we're probably going to be selling on till we get into this level right here because there is a lot of imbalance in the market, especially on the 4 hour time frame. Then, since I'm excluding that, I'm just going to make this red, move that down. Now we're at GBP CAD. So GBP CAD is straight. It hasn't created a newer low. It has not after since this week started. So I do anticipate price into coming back into I'd say I honestly wanted price to come back up like higher, but I think price is already this might have been the entry, but let me check. I want to see what the 4 hour, yeah, the 4 hour, if the 4 hour looks like this with a huge wick, there's a possibility that we're not seeing price coming back anytime soon. So this could have been the entry, but I I usually oh actually that yeah, that was definitely it because if you can see price came to the 50%, my 50% was off. So that was 50%. Price did make a uh what is it? What I'll do is I'll drag this here just in case price wants to come back up. I'm hoping price comes back up. But yeah, hopefully price comes back up into this area. If it does, I might sell, but I want to make this trade either GBP NZD or GBP CAD. I don't want to trade both GBP NZD and GBP CAD. So hopefully yesterday's that was not yesterday's high. Yesterday's high is up here. So that's yesterday's high, the 4 hour. Yeah, hoping that this 4 hour high gets taken out so that I can enter. And my entry would kind of look something like this. The reward would be about 1 to 3, or maybe a little bit higher, like a 1 to 4. Hopefully we can get something like a 1 to 4 out of this, and boom, that's a trade right there. So next is XAU USD, so gold. Even though gold is making these, you would think that this is lower low, lower low, lower low, right? So even though you're seeing these lower wicks going to the downside, gold is the type to fool you and spike down and then do a market structure shift and then boom, go up. So I'm sitting out on gold and I'm waiting for a higher retracement before I enter for myself because I definitely agree with people who are bearish at the moment for gold as a swing trader. Um, but getting into something like this is not something that makes sense right now, especially because price might actually be overall for the 4 hour bullish, unless if only if we consider like this right here. Like this being a low, this being a high, like internal low, internal highs, internal lows, creating internal high. So like you don't exactly know if these are real because there are real moves and there are fake moves in the market, but you have to start learning how to pick up on what's real and what's fake. Just like how you have fake friends, there's also real friends, but it's not that easy to spot. I am also looking for, let's see, the daily on the daily time frame for US 30 is bullish, but we created a leg. So this is the head, this is the leg of the move on the daily time frame. With that being said, what we're gonna do is drop down to the 4 hour time frame, and now you can see that the 4 hour time frame was printing lows and highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, and then boom, broke structure. Now, you can call this whatever you want. You can call this, a trend line, and then we got a break in trend line. You can call it whatever you want. I just call it market structure shift, break of structure, whatever. This just clearly shows, it indicates that bears are now in the market. Now, if we can find that bears are in the market, what we're gonna want to see is a retracement to the upside. Right now, we're probably, if we go down to like the smaller time frame, like the 2 minute, we probably have a gap on this side, which is probably gonna get tapped into. And once we get the tap into there, which we've probably already got, what is this, 9:30? No, around like 1 o'clock. I mean, there's still some imbalance around here. So there's a possibility that this might happen. Don't quote me on this, but you can see what might happen is, and I've seen this before, so you can see there's a gap right here on the 2 minute time frame. This might get tapped into. Once price gets tapped into there, then you might see price move up, and then we might create a lower time frame, like 15, 30 minute market structure shift around this area so that we can start going to the downside. Now, I've seen this multiple times. Will I put an alert here to take this trade? It is a high risk trade because that's me looking to take trades on, the lower time frame and going against the trend. Because right now, you can clearly see that the 15-minute time frame is bullish. I'm wrong. Yes, it is bullish, but so technically I wouldn't be trading against the smaller time frame trend. I'm trading against the trend for swing traders. Or what I could do is take the trade, but I could risk more, right? I can risk less. I'm bugging. Risk less. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It looks like my camera is not working for some reason, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's back. I don't know what happened, but yeah, so this might happen. I mean, I'm not sure if it will, but I mean, it's possible. You know what I'll do is I'll put an alert here and I don't know. I may or may not take it if it comes back. It should come back, but when did this happen? This happened on Monday. So Monday this happened. And if I am taking the trade, I'm gonna have to monitor this area because price is most likely gonna come into this area right here. And I just don't know where price will sell off to is also the problem. So, I mean, this could be a good take profit area, and the risk to reward would be something like this to this, which is like a 1 to 5. or a 1 to 6. So yeah, that is something that could happen. I mean, again, I'm most likely not gonna take this. I don't want to take this. So yeah, I'm not gonna take that. A lot of times I start thinking about how I'm gonna feel in advance, thinking about how I'm gonna feel, excuse me, if I take the loss. Like, am I gonna regret? I ask myself, am I going to regret taking this trade? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, I'm not gonna take the trade. If the answer is no, I'm taking the trade. So yeah, this is where I anticipate price coming, and I'm just pretty much waiting at this point. Now, is it also the 30-minute time frame is also bullish. So that's an even better uh reason for this to actually go up. So I'm actually adding that back, honestly, especially because I'm down for the week. Um, if I'll tell you what, if price comes back during Asian session, I'm taking it. If price comes down at this area during London session, I'll flip a coin. If the coin lands on heads, I'm not taking it. If the coin lands on tails, I'm taking it. But yeah, that is what I think. And for GBP, JPY, we're looking at price on the 4 hour time frame. Now, clearly, we're bullish for both daily and 4 hour, but we have to wait until price pulls back so that we can enter this market to create a new high. So this is still green. Nothing's changed. This one is CAD JPY, and it has to come back in order for us to consider this. It is bullish on the 30-minute, bullish on the 30-minute, bullish on the 1 hour, bullish on the 4 hour. So multiple time frames are bullish. I'm not sure if this is coming back anytime soon. And if it does, it might be around like Thursday. USD CAD. So I'm waiting for price to come into this area. Looks like it actually might be on its way now. What time is it? 6 o'clock, so the market reopened. I'm really interested in GBP NZD, but if we can get price to come back in this area for me to, take price back up to the top, that's that's good. Like this is also a good risk to reward, 1 to 9. Like this is like a A plus plus setup. However, I just have to wait for price to come back. That's really what I have to do is wait for price to come back. If we check Forex Factory, we can see Tuesday had the CAD. So Wednesday, 2 o'clock, there's gonna be a red folder that's FOMC. So we might actually get US dollar to drop before going back up. I mean, like if we were to check the US dollar DXY, we can see price is bullish, so that's a good sign. And it looks like, yeah, price might come into this area, either this area or take this level out during FOMC and then come back up, creating a new high. Um, yeah, I mean GBP, NZD, like I'm really waiting for it still. Probably would give us the entry. 5 minute is still bullish. I mean, we might get an entry. I'm looking because look, there's some imbalance here. That's exactly why I need price to come back so I can enter because there's more imbalance. And that is essentially what I'm looking for right now. Uh, let's look at you know what's crazy? I deleted AUD NZ, AUD USD, and it might have had potential opportunity maybe last week. I could imagine. Thursday. Oh my gosh, yo, we could have had. Hold on, let me look at the daily time frame. Oh my gosh. This would have been a perfect target level too, right here. Perfect target level right there. And then if we were to go to, let's say we did this, look, 1 hour time frame, boom. So look, we would have had boom, low, boom, high. And then once price broke structure here, broke structure, retraced back into that level right here, would have been toast. Would have caught an insane risk to reward. I would have entered right around this imbalance. You can see that there's like a good 5 minute imbalance in this area right here. That would have been my entry. And if that was my entry, I would have shorted right there. Stop loss right above that high. And then take profit would have definitely been that daily gap right there. And that is insane. That's a 1 to 17 risk to reward. Now we would have still been in the trade till this day. So, but it would have still been 100, 1000% worth it. So I think right now I'm at the point where one, I'm obviously scaling the account. And with me scaling the account, I want to build enough equity to where I'm comfortable with sitting on trades on weekly basis. Excuse me. But yeah, this would have been like a it would have been six 6 days of us holding that. I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad. Especially when you have like good amount of equity in your account to where it makes you comfortable. Like that's where I'm in my mind, I'm mentally conditioning myself because there's different steps of me and stages of my trading journey, and I wasn't always comfortable being a swing trader. I don't know why this camera keeps freezing. I wasn't always comfortable just being a swing trader. That's something that I had to work on mentally. So you have to create a mental framework to being comfortable with doing swing trading instead of day trading. Um, and that's something that didn't come easy. But yeah, AUD USD, I'm gonna add it back to my watch list. Right now, I'm obviously not gonna start trading it because it's in a downtrend and it's not good for me personally to trade external to internal for the daily time frame if I haven't caught the initial move. I'm only doing that when I'm catching the initial moves. Damn, this came on Wednesday during wow. Entries were good around what is that? 17, 18. This is 17, 18, 19, 20. So this was around, I think, 8 o'clock. I think 8 o'clock, because that 19, 26, 7, 8, yeah. So 20 is when it would have been a perfect time last week on Wednesday to enter this trade for a good 1 to 17 or even a good 1 to 20. Perfect. Now for GBP USD. Again, that is red because I'm not trading that. Euro USD. This is red. Why is this alert even here? I'm not trading this. I want to make sure I'm not just wasting alerts because sometimes I can't even set alerts because I got other stuff that has GBP AUD. Yeah, I mean, this one could stay because it still hasn't hit the take profit level. AUD JPY. All right, so we're clearly bullish. We're clearly bullish, but somewhat bearish just because this has not been broken. Because this can easily create a 4-hour time frame shift and then it goes back to bearish. But 4-hour time frame, we're definitely bullish for sure. Now for, I mean, this is not a bad trade. I would just have to wait for more. Yeah, I'm just gonna allow market to hit this area of interest so that I know where to buy from, so that we know that this is gonna be our target point. This is kind of a low risk trade because the daily is still bullish. And the reason it's bullish is because you can see that price had its highest high here, which has not from the daily been closed above yet. See, this candle did not close above, and this is the low. So price could potentially push more, higher. Uh, this is the Wednesday candle, so the Tuesday candle has already closed, which means we'd have to wait until Wednesdays to see if price either, closes above this to confirm that the daily is also bullish and give us a better, I would say more confluence. So I think what's a good idea is depending on the amount of confluence in the trade idea will start to determine how much risk I am willing to put on trades. Because this can break structure, easily break structure, since this is essentially it's essentially bullish or bearish on the daily time frame. It's essentially bearish. But yeah, let's see what price wants to do if it gets to this area. I'm gonna leave this as red. BTC USD, no longer interested at all. USD CHF, I am no longer interested at all. So I'm deleting this alert, taking up space. AUD CAD. This AUD CAD. Is this daily purple marks that I made? I made daily purple marks. I made daily. This was a low, high, low, high, low, high. What about the 4-hour time frame? 4-hour time frame has gone from so high, low, high, low. Now it's possibly creating a high, but at the same time, daily is bullish. So never forget that the daily is bullish. Don't forget the daily is bullish. I think because this leg right here has not been wicked, if you can see this leg right here, it's not been taken out. It's also closed. It hasn't even came around here. Like, why would you stop short by wicks? So that's a sign. This is a sign. And you can see if you look closely, this wick literally just stopped right above. So in my opinion, I would say price is only retracing to sell for AUD CAD. And then what I would look for is I'd look for imbalances, and you can see that the last imbalances that we had are clearly right here. So this is my area of interest, and I'm gonna wait until price gets to this level so that I can start seeing what price wants to do on the lower time frame, and this will indicate a risk to reward, potentially a potential risk to reward, because I'd have to wait until price does whatever it wants, and if you enter too early, it'll wick you out. That could potentially be a 1 to 5. Hopefully, it gives us something better, but I am now moving AUD CAD. AUD CAD has now graduated to the green folder. Next is NZD So now that we got NZD bullish, bullish, everything's bullish. So bullish on the 4 hour and bullish on the daily. I am now going to use my retracement tool, and here is our point of interest. There we go. Now I'm thinking might see some imbalance here. And if we do see imbalance there, wait until price comes in this area to possibly bring price up. And we can also have price dip even lower since we got more imbalance to the left. NZDJPY has now made it to the awaiting entry folder as well. Euro JPY, if we can look at the 4 hour, we can see that Euro JPY has been skyrocketing. Risk to reward on this one doesn't make sense. NZD/USD has ultimately gone exactly where I wanted it to. And I could have stayed in, but I didn't. And I would have been up a lot of money. Would have had a lot of money on NZD/USD if I stayed in. AUD/NZD. What do we have here? Now, what we have is on AUD/NZD is a 4 hour bullish indication. Daily time frame is in fact bearish. Now, why is it bearish? It's overall bearish because this is the high, this is the low. Now, why is it that this has, yeah, so why is it that, price is bearish on the daily overall? Is because price has not come and taken this out and closed above the high. So we're still bullish or bearish on the daily time frame, but if we go down to the 4 hour time frame, now we can see that price is in fact bullish. So we might be close to the point where we get price to break through and create a daily time frame, bullish daily time frame. Until then, we're just gonna have our alert set and look at the daily time frame, see if there's any daily area of interest levels. And this indeed is a perfect daily area of interest level right here. And it's literally around the 50% mark. So I'm gonna now graduate AUD/NZD, and they're coming with us. So now they're also amongst the awaiting entry list. The best awaiting entry list is GBP NZD right now. Excuse me. If we were to categorize this, I mean, yeah. Look, now what I'll do is I'm gonna do a I'm gonna do a flip the coin with Siri so that we can see if it makes sense to take this GBP NZD trade or not. Let's see. What do you guys want? I'll be tails, you guys be heads.